course it is.
I think we're
You already
live.
know what it is. They call me Big Dan.
Big Dan.
Rodan. I'm coming to you live from the 215, your comic book connoisseur, your sommelier of sci-fi and superheroes. Here to welcome you to the Blerd Bar. How you doing? Blerd Bar. Blerd Bar. I am not by myself.
Never ever.
Because if I was, call somebody.
All the peoples.
My best friend to my left.
Hey.
He will speak for himself.
Hey. What up? It's the last descendant of Yasuke, sub overdub for all anime. Salsa dancing ninja, stay on his toes. Got a sake flight ready to go. It's your boy Hawkins Hanzo Pterosaur in this joint. Let's go.
It's already season 8 inside jokes. It's crazy.
Yeah. Until we're still not by ourselves.
We're not by ourselves.
We're still not by ourselves.
Because we're in a different place.
Nani?
Nandayo.
Nandeska. Doko. Can't tell you. But we will tell you who's with us. It's none other than
the legend,
the myth,
the local,
and the man. We did that out of order.
We did.
Man, myth, legend was supposed. That was. You threw me off.
Look, I'll take it however I can get it. You know,
all things can be true, right?
Right. We have the boy Jason. Do you want your full government? I guess it's already out there.
It is out there.
It is kind of out there.
It's already.
But they call him
J. Rich, a.k.a.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
You only get one.
Yeah, and look, that's how it works here. You only get one.
If you don't know, we have a whole bio here. We're so official. Jason is the CEO of the nerd culture production company and news site J1 Studios, is a comic book writer and artist, graphic designer, a radio/web show personality. You see him. Voice actor, public speaker, a game developer, a director of film and television, and if that wasn't enough, the founder of J1Con, the longest-running black-owned anime convention in the world. That was a JoJo reference.
Yeah, get that Dio action. You know, I gotta get that Dio action.
But welcome to the Blerd Bar.
Yeah,
Thanks
no.
for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, we do what we can. We try to get the legends. We just kind of grab onto the coattails, and sometimes they look down on us and be like, "Hey, I'll grace you with the presents."
Wow. Okay. That listen. That is not how this went down. I was more than happy to be here, and I am still more than happy to be here.
That's only because he spent like 30 minutes with us. If it was longer, he'd be like, "Hey,
No, actually, you guys kind of have the same vibe that like we have at the studio.
Really?
That's
great. You need to visit.
We have like. We haven't had like in person like staff meetings in a while, you know, ever since, you know, the lockdowns and all that stuff. But and some of us are not local anymore. So we do a lot of things remote. But we used to have staff meetings at my place when I lived on South Street.
Okay.
So we would have people over and just hang out, and
we don't have time to talk about how you like living on South Street because that seems like a time.
It was a time.
It was a time was had.
Yeah. I was there for about 15 years.
Oh snap! Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were like, and you were there like when the Dune Day was like bumping like.
Oh yeah. And that was in walking distance.
Yeah.
Because I lived on right off of 6th and South.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
So like everything was there, and I did a lot of events and, you know, just like pop-ups and stuff like throughout the years, like there.
I do have a question before because we still got to talk about the cocktail and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
But how long you been a nerd?
I mean, generally my whole life. I think officially I was like 3. Okay. Yeah, that's how I became. I was in love with Spider-Man.
Okay. So Spidey and Amazing Friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, when you said that, I was thinking of the recent one, the kid program, because my kids Parker and Miles, they love it.
My daughters love it right now.
Whenever I put that on and the theme song starts playing, they start dancing. They're 1 and 3. Well, now 4.
Side quest. Patrick Stump being doing the opening song is such a like nerd moment on top of a nerd moment, because I'm like, this is Fall Out Boy, and my kids don't know that they love Fall Out Boy, but I'm like, this is Fall Out Boy for me. Right. But, you know. Anyway.
And it is a catchy song. Like, it's a fun song. Like, I catch myself every now and then. Like,
but I was talking about the OG Firestar Ice.
Yeah.
Okay. Bucket of water.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong thing.
That was Super Friends. That was Super Friends. But I always, even that, like, because I'm old, but back then, I still was kind of confused on how they lived in an apartment that can transform into a base without someone below them because they were on the higher levels. Like,
You're asking too many questions.
How did that work?
Reed Richards.
No, that's not the right answer.
I know, but I can explain him because there's no other way logically.
Yeah, There's no reason for it because like, damn. And how big was that apartment? Like
in New York, by the way.
Right. Like, what kind of money were they making? Like,
they weren't.
They were government officials, so
were they though?
maybe.
What
My cats love watching anime with me.
What? I don't even.
You guys are talking about kids and Spidey friends, so my cats.
You were like, I refuse to be left out.
Yeah. Okay, I was. Because no, there was a dog in the show.
There was. That's why I thought you were making a reference.
Nah, not at all.
Oh, okay. All right. So you just left out of that.
So glad you're here.
Yeah.
So, Josh? What are we sipping on?
We are sipping on a rendition of a rendition. This is called the Tokyo Rose, because we are giving roses to a great person, one who is here and one who is no longer with us, Akira Toriyama. And so this is for him, and this is how you build it. Konnichiwa, minasan. We are here to build a drink. This is going to be the Tokyo Rose. And this is actually not a Blerd Bar original, but it's actually just a drink that we found. And we kind of tweaked a little bit because we tried it the way that we found it, and that wasn't great. But that being aside, we are doing this drink to give our roses to Akira Toriyama, as well as our good friend Jason on the podcast right now. So for that, you will need 4 ingredients to make this drink as we build it at the Blerd Bar. First up, you are going to need some lemon juice. Second, you're going to need some Midori. Third, you're going to need some vodka. And fourth, you're going to need some sake. Now, why do you need these things? Or is there a certain, do you need these particular things, I should say? So with the vodka, you're not gonna need Konpeki vodka, even though we do have that here, but you are going to want a cleaner vodka, one that really, the more like water it tastes, the better it will be. So you're thinking Grey Goose, you're thinking your upper scale, like Kettle One, like that kind of a thing. Lemon juice, whatever you need. You will need Midori, that is what it is. For your sake, you are going to need a drier sake, one that is not as sweet because we already have the sweetness here with the Midori. So you're gonna want a dry sake. Doesn't matter if it's Junmai or if it's Daiginjo. If it's Daiginjo, you have deep pockets, that's fine. But you definitely just want a dry sake. So with that being said, let's build. All right, here we go. We're about to build. Now, first up, your vodka. You're gonna need 1.5 ounce of your vodka. Next, you will need 1.5 ounce of your sake. Next, you will need 3/4 of your Midori. And finally, you will need 1/4 of your lemon juice. Then you're gonna wanna put the ice in and you're gonna wanna shake for, I would say, 15 to 30 seconds. Once you've shaken, pour out into your glass. Ooh, let's go, perfect pour. All right, let's give this a try. The Tokyo Rose. Sake comes through. The lemon actually surprisingly does come through. It chills out the Midori a lot. Vodka is shining bright. It's really a bright drink in general. Not like heavy or anything like that. Not a very, I don't know. It's not like a sugar heavy drink. It is a very bright drink. It is something that you will drink often and not know that it's hitting until it's hitting. But a very good drink, very good build, very bright. Definitely try this out. Let us know what you think. The Tokyo Rose, Kanpai, and may Akira Toriyama rest in peace. Cheers. Cut to the thing.
The throwaway to the commercials that we do.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So yeah, that's how you build a Tokyo Rose, and cheers.
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
It's a good time. I've been sipping on it already, so I don't want to keep leaning on it.
That's fair.
So I've been holding it.
I find it very bright, which is fun.
Looks like Ecto Cooler.
It does.
Does not taste like Ecto Cooler.
Does not taste like. Don't be fooled.
Yeah, don't have too many of these.
This is more like Wish Upon a Shenron or something like that. Like
That's fun. Yeah, that's the cocktail. What are we talking about?
Well, first we are talking to J1 Studios.
I'm sorry, you're
Jay
just
Richardson.
already so
No. I'm
what
just
are we
hanging
talking
out.
about?
Listen,
He's been here the whole time we left.
I'm here just chilling.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Don't even worry about me.
So obviously, since you're here, that means you have stuff that you've been working on that you got to tell people. So what are you working on? What's coming out? What's next? Up front, we just want to get that out the way now.
Well, also, though, I mean, I had a little bio, but like, if somebody didn't know you,
Yes.
what's your 15-minute?
Your
No, I'm sorry. Your 5-second elevator pitch.
I mean, it's not 5 seconds because I tried to. I've tried to cut it down to like a quick spiel, and it draws itself out because I've worked in so many different facets of entertainment.
You just go around saying I'm him.
Yeah. I try not to because I have imposter syndrome, so I'm just like I do things, but my manager yells at me and says, "No, talk about the things."
Come on, yeah. First of all, if you did the work, by now it's no one else's responsibility to tell other people about you other than you.
Yeah.
Right? You've done the work already.
Yeah.
You can put your feet up and be like, "Hey, here's what I did. You're welcome."
Okay.
Tell us about yourself, and then tell us what you're doing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yes, I've done voice acting. I write and draw comics. Our comics were known internationally in like the early run of like the 2000 era, where we had fan art from around the world. Based on our comics and like our manga and stuff, that's these over here, like the tribute books. They're a collection, like I said, of fan art from sculptures to cosplay to paintings, illustrations, and from over 30 different countries.
Oh, wow.
And some of them are amateur artists and creators, and some of them are actually professionals, because that's how I actually met some of the animation crews and like the animators and storyboard artists behind the DC animated movies and shows like Young Justice, because I got fan art from them, and in the message they were like, "Hey, here's some art of my characters like in the like Young Justice animation style," and they're like, we're working on Justice League Doom right now, and like, we love your stories and we love your books, so here you go. And then other like known animators from around the world.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What does that feel like to have something that you're a fan of be a fan of you?
That's a good question.
It's humbling. And again, with the whole imposter syndrome, it gets kind of difficult. Like, you want to flex, and then there's moments where people have talked down to me or like, you didn't really do anything, this, that, the other thing. And I'm like, well, here's the proof. So, then I get like real defensive and.
That's right. Y'all can stay mad.
Yeah. Because it's like a lot of stuff that I started. Like I started back in the early 2000s. I created a cosplay prom. Mm-hmm. And it's funny now I'm seeing a lot of conventions having these type of events. And I was one of the first, if not the first, to under contract when I started the convention, when I was booking celebrities, I had them do videos of videos of themselves saying that they were going to be at my conventions. Because I knew, I knew no one would believe that, this black guy, one, had an anime convention, and two, had these voice actors or celebrities. So, like, part of the deal was whenever they would either do a video before they get there or when they land that day or the night before or whatever, we would shoot like a, hey, look who's with me and, like, all this other stuff. Now I'm seeing, like, major cons like New York Comic Con doing that stuff. I'm like, you don't need that. You're New York Comic Con. Yeah. Like, people going to show up anyway. I'm trying to convince people, like, to come to my stuff because I don't have any sponsors. Right. A few other things was, like, I was one of the first conventions to have, like, a actual commercial or a series of commercials that would run on, like, Cartoon Network and Adult Swim and stuff like that, where I even voiced some of the commercials as a narrator. Because I've done voice work for that. I've been the voice of, like, the Showboat Hotel in Atlantic City. I've done other commercials here and there for restaurants or what have you. And, I mean, it's cool, doing from action voice, like action movie trailer voice, to, like, doing corporate voice. And then now doing code voices switching. Code switching like you wouldn't believe.
We do a lot of that.
Now, I've also voiced some anime, too. Like, there was the indie project where it was combined with J1 Studios and Spoof Animation over in Nigeria, where we put out Ajaka Lost in Rome, which is like Gladiator meets God of War, but it's the main character is Ajaka, the King Ajaka from, their history. Right. Yeah. So it has, like, a little bit of fantasy element to it because they have powers and stuff like that. And I voiced 2 soldiers in the same scene. Oh, so I did 2 voices of there's one short lines, but I was 2 centurions that were standing there that Ajaka walks by and talks to. So I had to record them both separately.
That's fine. So, like,
talking to yourself.
Yeah, talking to yourself. Which is fine. I do that anyway. I do that anyway.
Yeah. Right. But, like, so what are you doing?
I wish I was getting paid for it.
What are you doing now
keep it together, man.
Into the future?
Right now, I'm working on a few projects. I'm rebooting some of the comics because I want to focus more on J1 Studios because for a while, J1 Con took over my direction. I want to take this year off. Oh. And it's ending on a positive note, where we just in December won Convention of the Year at the Do You Speak Geek Awards. Okay. And it was cool because I didn't think we would win because, I mean, the lineup was like New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, Dream Con, and Blerd Con. Oh, wow. And based on the actual votes of the people, like, J1 Con won. I was like, wow.
Why do you think that is? As the originator, the creator of it, why do you think that it is that the people chose this?
I think part of it.
Pipe yourself up. I want before you shut down. I think that's what your manager would say. No. Why do you think as your baby, the people go, "Ooh, I love this." DreamCon is big.
Yeah.
Right? NYC, San Diego is the GOAT. In the argument of conversations, but you won. So now you're the GOAT. So why do you think that it is that they picked yours?
I think because
I want to talk to J Rich. I want this Jason. Jason's like, I don't know. J Rich is like, because nigga, I'm out here doing the work. I care about the people. I care about the content. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, part of that is I know, right? I was gonna be like, and by this, we just like to care about the people, and then
because nigga, we out here running things. I'm better. I'm the GOAT. I run this. It's me. All me. What is this? My camera right here? It's stupid, guys. It's stupid. Why would you not think that it's my thing? I'm out here running this. Sorry, Jason.
Like I said,
no, Jason. Jason's trying to tell y'all why he running this, and y'all not hearing him. Okay, let the man talk. Let him cook. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right, so yeah, you know what? Yeah, I mean, because some of the things is a lot of the larger conventions, you don't get to see who runs the convention. They usually are sitting somewhere else in a room just surveying everything. I like to walk the floors.
Boots on the ground, niggas. Boots on the ground. I'm out here in the gutters, in the streets, doing this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you.
I mean, technically, yeah, because like I do hand out, like I'm on this. I'll do street level marketing where I'm like handing out flyers and stuff like that, and I'm out here. Like I know
you don't even need me anymore. I'm out here.
No.
Say it with your chest
because because I don't want to feel like a braggart about it. Like I do care about the people, and like I know like with Hilton and BlerdCon, like I was one of his mentors like in making it, and it was just I'm very personable. Like there's been a couple times where I remember one incident where a young lady, she was vending by herself. And she had to go to the bathroom, but she didn't know what to do because she was afraid to like just leave all her stuff out there. Right. I go around to the vendors and I'm like, hey, you okay? You need a bottle of water or something like that, and and so I told her to go.
Vending, even when you need somebody else, it's me, the owner, the CEO, out here taking over your table and making sure you get your monies so you can go to the bathroom, dog. That's why.
I mean, no. Seriously though, that is what happened. I told her, I was like, look, you go to the bathroom. I'll sit at your table. I see your prices are here. I'll sell some stuff for you till you get back.
You earned that award,
and
you earned it because that's what you do.
Yeah,
yeah. This is how you are. Like this, I want to make sure that
I wanted to feel like a family, like like a family gathering. Not necessarily, but I guess with the vibe of a cookout. But what I'm saying, like a family gathering.
It's fine. You got the Blerd bar.
Okay, yeah, like a cookout.
I feel like
yeah.
I think you know that.
I was doing this stuff before that term even existed. Like, I remember the first article I was featured on the cover, they just termed it as Black Geek Chic. And I was like, that's cool. I like that.
Black Geek Chic.
Yeah.
That's a lot of words to say.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah. And then eventually Blerd became a thing.
Yeah.
And it was just really cool. I've won, at this point, probably like 40 different awards, from being a game developer, from writing and drawing comics, working with the convention itself. Mm-hmm. We used to have a thing out here in Philly called the Philly Geek Awards, which was a black tie, red carpet event for nerd culture. And I was the first like black person to win Geek of the Year, which is like the biggest award that's at the end of the night. And then same ceremony, I won Streaming Media of the Year because I was part of a radio show, Black Tribbles. We were...
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we were one of the first. We were like the first like black nerd talk radio show.
Why we do this.
Yeah, like
Tribbles is the reason why we do this.
Yeah, a lot of people like I was talking to you earlier about how like I went to a Marvel event and we were sitting there with other podcasters, and it was like black nerd podcasters, and someone turned to me and was like, "Yo, do you realize that everyone that's sitting here with their own show is here because they were inspired by you, and like I gave them platforms like at my conventions and stuff like that. You know, I like to give people those opportunities that when I was doing this, they didn't exist.
Right.
Because even when I was putting together the conventions and I was trying to shop, you know, venue spaces, a lot of hotels and all that stuff straight up told me like no, because they thought it would bring a thug element. Because at that time, black nerds weren't a trending topic.
No.
You know, honestly, the black nerd scene didn't really kick off and become visible to mainstream media until they saw the turnout for Black Panther.
I agree.
That's when they realized, oh, black people like this stuff.
And have
For a long time. You know, and so like with all that, you know, yeah, I travel. I do a lot of appearances at other conventions, you know, a little speaking and signing, you know, engagements, as well as speaking at schools, from elementary schools to colleges, talking about, you know, getting in the industry.
Teaching the kids, because I care. What are y'all doing? Why y'all not giving me my flowers? I've done this. I'm doing this. Why you not giving Jay Richards? Why are you not doing this? I'm out here.
No more Tokyo Roses.
No more Tokyo Roses. I'm having a great time, by the way.
Yeah. No. This is nice. But no. It's funny. It's funny because I would do my birthday parties because before I started the company, all that stuff. At one point, I was homeless. So and through selling artwork, you know, at a young age on the streets and stuff like that, I was able to get myself, you know, food and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I guess that keeps me always moving forward, always hungry. Yeah.
I like that.
And
I don't like that you were homeless. I'm saying I like
I look at that as a positive.
Right.
Because it had me, I ended up looking at the world differently, and I learned how to market and how to hustle. Because if I didn't hustle, I didn't eat. So
the good book says,
right.
You don't eat.
And that's how I look at everything. That's how I look at everything. And you know, now I've been executive producers of animations. I've, you know, developed multi-award winning games like my deck building fighting card game, VT Heroes. I based it off of Tokusatsu, for those who don't know. It's in the same genre as like Power Rangers.
Super Sentai.
Yes. And, you know, I've done that. I've made, there's another game, Rival Aim, which is kind of like a shooter like Call of Duty, but it's a card game. Because I used to make computer games back in the day as a young child. And now something told me to jump into the tabletop market and all that, which led to me announcing right now.
Announcement!
Breaking news!
Breaking news here on
This is Flawless Heart Charm. This is another card game. This is 2 to 10 players. VT Heroes is a 1v1 fighting game. But Flawless Heart Charm is 2 to 10 players card game where it's similar to Uno, which is known as like a shedding type card game, but it features women and people of color using the magical girl genre. And there's all types of representation in there. Even like one of the characters has vitiligo, which is like really like awesome. And the art is done by Melissa Barnhill of J1 Studios. She writes and draws the fantasy manga Silver that's on our site.
Look at you keeping it in the family.
Yeah. I want if I get it, I believe in if I eat, everyone eats. So I'm trying to make sure that in some way, shape, or form, when I do something, if I have an opportunity to bring people, or especially the in-house staff, into a project where they could also like earn some coins.
Yeah,
I'm for it.
Some wares.
Right.
Khajiit has.
You have, yeah.
I mean,
you know.
this right here. This is the Encyclopedia of Black Comics. I'm blown away that I'm an entry in this. This is a encyclopedia that showcases various influential people, like Black people in the comic book industry.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's done by Dr. Sheena Howard, who's from Philly.
Yes.
She's the first Black woman.
Stand up.
No, but no, she takes some extra credit because she is, I believe, the first and youngest Black woman to win an Eisner Award.
Yeah.
So that's like the Oscars for books, like so she's worked on tons of projects, but I was so blessed to be a part of that.
We gotta update this though.
So like this is legacy,
Yeah. I mean, what is that? 2014?
2017.
Maybe 2017. I'm just saying, there's new characters out here, so we gotta update.
There's new stuff. Yes, there's new stuff. So hopefully she, when she does a second volume.
Yeah. If we can get her on, we can get her on. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I can talk to her.
Yeah.
I'm the one out here building connections.
But yeah,
rub them elbows, shake those hands, kiss those babies.
but that's what I do. Like I do that with a lot of my events. Like with I created a music festival, a multi-genre music festival called J1 Music Fest, where it featured like hip hop, rock, industrial, jazz, folk, all that stuff. But I added like nerd elements to it because we added like a lot of like known like nerdcore like acts in there. We've had people like Heroes for Hire. We've had Mega Ran.
Mega Ran.
I actually am the writer and artist for the Mega Ran manga. And I've actually done about 3 album covers because there's the language arts.
I've seen that.
But that was all. That was my art, and it was cool because narrator of Dragon Ball Z was on there, and it was cool hearing him say J1 Studios.
Gotcha.
Like that was like.
I got narrator saying my name, dog.
Right?
They say my name.
Yo. And then there's like, I do want to shout out, like, we got the 48-hour film project that's coming out. Like, that's coming up in Philly.
Yeah.
Soon. Stay tuned. You might see your boy somewhere. Just saying.
You might. Keep your ear to the ground.
You definitely want to get involved.
Yeah.
Word.
Because, especially you guys.
You know where we are.
Get involved.
All right.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry.
You said it's jump if you froggy.
Like,
too many roses. All right. Speaking of Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Unfortunately, as of this recording, Akira Toriyama has passed. Who, I mean, I'm usually like the anime guy, but you're kind of dabbling, tiptoeing.
See, I feel like with Toriyama, it's so much more than just Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Right, like Dragon Quest as the
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Like
Chrono Trigger. Yeah.
he has influenced not just Dragon Ball Z and anime, but like
a lot. I mean, are you a rapper if you don't like
make a reference?
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that people don't know that he influenced with his projects, Nintendo and Sega have been influenced.
Yeah.
That the way that since like Mario 3, the way Mario's animated when he runs and then having the hats and all that stuff with the ears and stuff, that was definitely influenced from Toriyama. Sonic has, instead of collecting Dragon Balls, he collects emeralds, 7 emeralds, and then goes Super Sonic, where he goes like yellow hair, and then has like the same spiky energy, and then can fly and all that stuff.
I mean, Superman, which is crazy because Goku is supposed to be like a Superman clone, but it's crazy if you go back to the Superman comic books currently in Action Comics. He's gone Super Saiyan.
Yeah, and he can actually now he has like
his
Goku powers, and he like charges up beams and all kinds of stuff. Like I'm like, oh, okay.
Electrical powers all of a sudden.
And you can't tell me Kazuya ain't Ryu from Street Fighter mixed with Vegeta. You know, like and when you see stuff like the Marvel vs. Capcom games. You know, Ryu's fireball, his super fireball is literally a Dragon Ball beam. You know,
Shang-Chi literally did the Kamehameha in the movie. We don't talk about Bruno.
But also stuff like the Matrix.
Yeah.
If you watch the third Matrix, the fight scene at the end is totally Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Even down to like grabbing him and then crashing into the ground and making the crater that you only saw in DBZ, like stuff like that. Even in because I'm friends with the guys over at Warner Brothers, like they did that even with some of the movies and the shows.
Yeah.
They did the same thing in the last episode of Justice League Unlimited, where Superman gave his famous speech, and then he punched Darkseid in the air so far away, but Superman flew so fast he looked like he teleported and was waiting for Darkseid at the other end to knock him down to the ground. That's literally a move that is a staple of the Dragon Ball scene, leaving the crater again, you know, with the injured, you know, victim, protagonist, whoever whoever it is.
It's crazy.
My work is inspired by that. Like a lot of my work is inspired by that.
And that's kind of where I wanted to pivot to, is just like thinking about, without Dragon Ball, who are we as nerds?
I don't think anime would be anime
100%
in the American market without
Dragon Ball Z.
two shows specifically. Dragon Ball Z, especially, and Sailor Moon. Without
100%.
those two shows, anything that would have came over from Japan would have just considered a cartoon.
Yeah.
And that happened already as proof.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know is that a lot of the Marvel animations were actually done by Sunbow, which was a studio that, Japanese studio.
Done by
A lot of that was
It was outsourced after a while because originally Bruce Timm did the actual animation.
Yeah, Bruce Timm and Warner Brothers animation staff, they still worked on stuff, and even like newer stuff was still done in-house. But I'm talking about stuff in the 80s. Like, people don't realize that Transformers was animated over in Japan. Same with like Transformers, G.I. Joe, that whole run of stuff, like that was all anything that had more than, if it was animated and had more than one shade of coloring, it was usually a Japanese studio, because American animation didn't use shading when they did animation. It would just be a flat color. And so like anime's influence and a lot of stuff, even up to Avatar Last Airbender, there's so many things that were inspired by Akira Toriyama. And let's shout out to one of the hidden gems that only us old nerds know about. Tobal Number 1 was a fantastic game. It was a dope fighting game that was on the PS1. They eventually made Tobal like number 2. Those even games like Power Stone were inspired by Dragon Ball, because there was even characters that one of the characters, a martial artist character that you play as, he would go Super Saiyan, and he had blue hair. I believe it was blue hair when you're in normal mode, but then when you got your Power Stone and you activated it, his hair would turn like blonde, and it would stand up straight, and he would have energy around him. That's, come on, it's Dragon Ball. Yeah.
And it's really crazy, because I know this was like in our content section, but it's also like the culture of like nerddom. Like
Especially black culture.
Big time.
Because we looked at the Saiyans as the Saiyans were a representation of black people, while like Frieza was like a white overseer and was like enslaving.
He did call them monkeys.
He called them monkeys. He enslaved them,
He said those words.
and he was afraid of one of them, pretty much uprising. And then which ended up becoming them going Super Saiyan. And then when Goku went Super Saiyan, that was a legendary thing. It was like, oh no, what? And then that inspired us, because black folk love kung fu. We love martial arts.
We do.
And
Leroy.
But I mean, that was a product of marketing, because a lot of times in the 70s, in the markets that wanted to bring kung fu films over wouldn't get allowed to to put the movies, because you almost rented out theaters back then of where you could release your films. A lot of the, say, imported stuff, they wouldn't let them do it in the mainstream theaters, so they could afford and only could afford to do it in the hood. So then they were putting out these kung fu films, and that's honestly how Bruce Lee got popular, how Jackie Chan got popular, how Jet Li got popular. It was because of, honestly, the black community.
You're welcome.
And I'm gonna say this as a flex: if you do an anime anything in Philly, you're welcome. Cause I like,
baby. He don't even need me no more. He don't even need me to speak for him.
Do
you see how good he is?
Arc? You see the arc here at the Blerd?
Yeah. but no, because like
people, man, one Tokyo Rose, and it's just like
no, you know what? Because I might as well own up. I might as well, say it, because I've heard it enough times from people when I do appearances at other events. They were like, I built Philly's longest running anime convention. To the point where when you would Google conventions in Philly, at the time, it would be Wizard World and J1Con.
Oh, wow.
No matter what you Googled.
Throwback.
Right. Like, Wizard World is gone now.
Right. R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. And, like, it's just crazy. Like, I wanted to just build a space honestly, for kids and, like, teens who had nothing else to do. So I started doing small little pop-up events, from gaming events to anime meetups, or just like small mini cons almost. And I would do it for low, where it was either free or the most it would cost is like $5. And I would do them monthly at rec centers and stuff like that. And I would actually, because of my connections, I would actually feature like an anime that you may have seen the trailer, but if you come to this event, you get to see the actual film.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I had connections where I can get the actual film. Like, right. So, and then, like, I don't know, I just wanted to do something. I saw that there were anime fans, but there was nowhere for anime fans to go.
Right, yeah.
So I was like,
All right, so
well, I was about to say,
I know we gotta wrap up soon.
We do. We should wrap up now.
Hold on. Before we do, I want to talk about, you gotta pick one of your favorite DBZ moments. We go down the list and then we wrap up. Just the first thing that comes to mind that you're like, this is my jam. I can watch this episode at least 1,000 times over again because of this one moment.
Surprisingly, it was a newer episode.
Talk about it. Come on.
Dragon Ball Super. When Goku was fighting, I think it was Kefka.
Okay.
And she was doing like almost like the Broly type attacks. And for the first time, you saw Goku moving while charging his Kamehameha.
Oh, the instant.
And I was just like, yo, because like it was my nephew's birthday at the time, and I showed up, and like he had some of his friends, and they freaked out. They're like, oh my gosh, J1's here. I'm like, yeah, let's watch some DBZ. And I was hype. My brother, even the adults, we were watching it. And he did a handstand with the beam on her blast and skated it, doing a handstand, and then just threw it right in her mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was like...
Man, it was one of Goku's most disrespectful.
I was like, hey, yo, like, that is so disrespectful. Right. That Goku would have trashed Cell. Like, it was just, that was like, I felt like I was a kid again watching DBZ. Because I used to watch DBZ before it came over here. I did stuff with like importing. I helped manage one of the anime stores where you could purchase anime on, shady VHS.
It's a different time.
Different time. Yeah, we were selling those anime bootlegs. Like, we were selling.
We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, but it was a good time.
I was out here doing crimes.
Yeah, I was committing crimes.
That is probably
that's a phenomenal moment.
That's a top top 3 for sure. Mine is probably when Trunks first shows up and slices.
You stole my moment. Go ahead.
It's
fine.
true.
I was never a Trunks fan.
I like the sword aspect, and it was the way they like showed him. Like literally, like he's introduced. Like he shows up, he goes Super Saiyan, he chops people up in many pieces.
No, I understand. Listen, I understand why the hype.
It was the sword, and like, it was a Saiyan with the sword. I was like, that's dope. Yeah, that's.
Guess what? I'll go with my second pick.
Okay.
Literally chopping up Frieza. That moment is goated in my memory.
I mean, that was.
But it's going to have to be Gohan Super Saiyan 2 against
Cell?
Cell.
Yes, that was a great one.
He rages out, and you know,
like the daddy moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what made that even crazier?
Forward with it. Oh my
See,
God.
what made that crazy is when like Goku was like, "Yo, Cell, here's a senzu bean." I said, "Bro, what are we doing here? Like,
moment,
what?
Like, what is happening?"
And then he was just like, "Don't worry, my son's got this."
Yeah.
I was like, "Word."
The son you have not. Never mind. We don't have time.
No, don't disrespect Goku. I mean, he is a.
He's got 2 dads.
He's got 2
2
dads.
more than Josh.
He's got a black dad, and he's got
So like, it's funny when I say it.
It's kind of sad if I say it out
It's
loud.
rude if you say it.
Fireflies, we thank you for this time. Things be happening, and let them know where they can find you again.
You can check everything that's J1 Studios. You go to j1studios.com. You can go to official J1 Studios on TikTok and Instagram. We have Twitter.
X.
And J1 Con, even though it's not happening this year, we will still be promoting other events.
Okay.
And, you know, and keep an eye out for other J1 Studios announcements. 48-hour film project.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you aren't already doing that. And we'll see you in the next one. Y'all have a blessed night.
Deuces.